one-man operation here. I haven't got the budget to have a crew. We're gonna make it a vinyl video. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna show off some cool vinyl and listen to snippets of music, and I'm going to talk about this vinyl. I got a lot to show. I have to go real fast, but first, a word from our sponsors, Pepsi Cola, the nice, refreshing drink that millions have enjoyed. So, whenever you need your thirst quench, go for a Pepsi. That's good. Okay, so been to the thrift stores, purchased some vinyls, and last Sunday, I was up in Richmond in the Carytown area, which is sort of like what Ghent is to Norfolk, Carytown is to Richmond, and they have a really cool record store there. It's called Plan 9. This was the bag that they put my purchases in. I'll show you what I got from there. The first album is a 3-album set of a famous tour, 1976, and I actually attended one of the shows. That was Wings Over America. I attended the Landover, Maryland show. I think it was in like April or May, and what a great show that was. Historic. And prior to Christmas, an album came out of that tour. It's called Wings Over America. So, Plan 9, I got this for all 3 discs. Mint condition, beautiful, beautiful vinyl. Looks like it has hardly ever been played, and the cover's in really, really good condition, about 90% mint. So I got this album for $6. Great, you know. So it replaces my 2 worn out copies. The only thing it did not come with was the poster, but that's all right because I got 2 posters in my worn out copies. This contained songs. This was in 1976. Paul was well into his solo Wings career, and so it contained songs from like Mars and Venus, a lot of Band on the Run, Speed of Sound, you know, all the hits and some deeper album tracks. Venus and Mars, Rock Show, Jet, Let Me Roll It, Spirits of Ancient Egypt, Medicine Jar, Baby I'm Amazed, Call Me Back Again, Lady Madonna, Long and Winding Road, Live and Let Die, Picasso's Last Words, Richard Cory, which is a Paul Simon song, Bluebird, I've Just Seen a Face, Blackbird, Yesterday, You Gave Me the Answer, Magneto and Titanium Man, Go Now, which is a Moody Blues song, My Love, Listen to What the Man Says, Let 'Em In, Time to Ride, Silly Love Songs, Beware My Love, Letting Go, Band on the Run, Hi Hi Hi, and Solly. So various songs from Paul McCartney and Paul McCartney with Wings. And there's about 5 Beatles songs there. Now, I know that most of his set today consists of, half of it consists of Beatles songs, but there's only 5 here. He was, this was 1976, and he was promoting his, you know, his solo stuff, the Wings stuff. So, very happy to have this in the collection, and it's going in a slipcover plastic, and it's going to stay in mint condition. Very cool. Okay, Plan 9. A guy named Lee Michaels, who's a, I've got some information pulled up on him. Lee Michaels is an American rock musician who sings, accompanying himself on organ, piano, guitar. He is known for his energetic veracity. I mispronounced that word, or great skills on the Hammond organ. Peaking in 1971 with his top 10 hit, "Do You Know What I Mean?" And I'm going to play a snippet from that, if I can find it. Thank you for bearing with me. I think I lost it. Anyway, I'm going to try to get it real quick, so just bear with me. Here it is. I'm sure you heard this one if you were around in the early 70s.
No. We'll still be here.
Hate these ads on YouTube.
Been 14 days since I don't know when. I just saw her with my best friend. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so that was 1971, Lee Michaels, "Do You Know What I Mean?" That was a top 10 hit. I remember hearing it quite often. My father ran a bar called Jack's American. That was on the jukebox, so a big hit from that era. But anyway, Lee Michaels, as I just read, a musician who played a multi of instrument, but his main one was the Hammond organ. And at Plant 9, I found his second solo album. Gatefold. And the covers, it has issues. It's starting to tear right here. The vinyl is in pretty good shape. It's very playable. It's not like brand new, but it's playable. And I was able to listen to a little bit of this album in the store because they have a turntable set up with earphones, and it sounded great. So I went ahead and purchased it and got it home. I'm glad I brought this album. Lee Michael kind of disappeared after the 1970s, and I tried to get some information what he's been up to since, and there's not a whole lot. He was engaged in a legal battle to gain copyrights to his music, which he was successful, but that's about it. I'll play a snippet from this album. It's really good.
Wanting to find out if it was love we had. Looking on pages for hidden meanings, going through changes, asking myself if we're through. Yeah. Time is over, now we must find a new king.
Okay, I gotta keep these down to snippets because YouTube gets very snippy about the copyright issue. But the guy had a terrific voice, and he was very talented as a musician, and I'm just discovering him. And what was so great today, I went to the thrift store and found another one of his albums. If I put, oh, here it is. This was like his second album. It contained no hit on it, but the music is really hard hitting, and this album was one day in the making and 23 years in preparation. Michael and Fausti, his drummer, entered the studio at 5 p.m. January 2nd, 1969. 6 hours and 45 minutes later, at 11:45, on the same day, both performers, with their aid of producer Larry Marks, had completed Lead's third album for AM Records, recorded live in the studio. So pretty neat. Good album, really good album. Another artist who had success with another band, and they had a big hit. Let me pull this information up. Donnie Irish. Now, Donnie was in a band called the Rappers. No, that was the hit. The band was called the Jaggers, and had a big hit called The Rapper, and went to number 2 on Billboard singles chart. Rap, 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 you call it a rapper. You know, I can't sing worth damn, but a really cool song. And later on, he joined a group called Wild Cherry, who had that song, "Play That Funky Music, White Boy," but he joined it after they recorded that hit as a replacement musician. And then he had a series of albums on his own with his backing band. What were they called? Oh, the Cruisers. Donnie Irish and the Cruisers. There they are. And on this, they actually had 2 hits, but he also received fame as a solo artist in the 80s. Hit 29 on Oh Leia, and then 37 with this song here, which I'll play. Gotta go back. Thank you for bearing with me. Another damn commercial on YouTube. How many of you remember this one? So if you were around 1981 driving around, you turn on the FM radio and sometimes AM, you heard that song. What, to my surprise, and this album was marked down to $1, and $1 for the Lee Michael album. I thought, well, it does contain one song that I know about, "Love Is Like a Rock." For $1, you buy that song for $1 on iTunes. I'm getting a whole album, and the album's in really good playing condition. It is. So I went and brought it, and I got it home, and I played the album. I would say this is one of the best undiscovered albums I've ever heard. Very much of its time in production, sound-wise. I'm surprised there weren't more FM hits on it. Excuse me. But this was a delightful listen to. So I'm going to play this one quite often. Nice find for $1. Okay, moving on. Moving on. We're getting into the moving out of the Plan 9 stuff and getting into the thrift store vinyl. And let me say this about buying vinyl at thrift stores. Like 5 years ago, it was abundance, all the popular music, you know, rock and roll, pop music, you know, you could find albums by Chicago, America, Land of Rhythm section, the Allman Brothers, the Cars, where people just unloaded their albums at thrift stores, and you can pick up all this stuff for like $1. So I kind of got on the ground floor there and started buying vinyl again for $1, but things have changed at thrift stores with the revitalization of vinyl, because people are hitting the thrift stores and who are getting into vinyl with the vinyl revitalization and, you know, buying stuff up quicker. So you don't find the popular titles as much as what I just the artists I just mentioned, but you do still find some very interesting music in different genres. And having said that, I now look for more unusual stuff, international music. And I found this album here, and I just love the artwork. It's called Bouzouki, if I pronounced it right, the music of Greece. And it's based on an instrument called the bouzouki, if I pronounced it right. It is named of a mandolin-like instrument played with a pick. It is a term described in the style of Greek popular music, featuring the use of that instrument. And it has information there, and all the musicians, and the title, and the brief description of the song. So, you know, we're getting into international music here. And this is on the Non-Such label, which is a label still in existence, and actually has some modern artists signed to it, like the Black Keys. And I did some research. This came out in 1965. It has the original inner sleeve, which is cool, and a listing of all the music on the label that's international. And then at the bottom it says there, right for a complete catalog. So it's nice to have this as a set, and I'm going to play a snippet from this album real quick.
Στο κρασί μου ξεχνώ τον καημό που μου δίνεις ποτάμες, πως για μένα δεν ρωτάς, αγάπη δεν μ' αγαπά.
This is in great condition. I didn't hear any scratches on it. It's nice and clean. The vinyl looks beautiful. It's a bit dusty. I need to clean it with some record cleaner. So it's that type of music, and when I listen to it, it sounds like, you know, Greek, Mediterranean, a bit of Arabic. It's really, really cool. And so we go to the thrift stores now. I tried to find some international music, and this was a good find. Also, let me show you I love the cover. I should have showed you this first. It still had the shrink wrap, so it's very glossy. Very, very cool cover. I love the artwork. So, this is a nice find. This next one, Randy Newman. He's written hits for, I think, Three Dog Night. And other hits. He had a hit of his own called Short People. A little controversy there. You know, picking on short people, but actually he was making a point. He wasn't making a point about, being prejudiced and how ridiculous it is. This album came out in 1974, and it's called Good Old Boys. It's kind of a theme album of his views of Southern culture, norms, and his observations on it. One song called Redneck, which will offend everyone. Birmingham, Mr. President, Have Pity on the Working Man, Louisiana, 1927. So kind of a historical outlook on the South. Even has a picture of Huey Long, the famous Louisiana governor. The Wedding in Cherokee Country. Back on my feet again. Kingfish. I guess that's the nickname for Huey Long, that famous governor of Louisiana. And he was also a senator. And the cover too kills me. You know, kind of a shady person with a girl. So this is a good album. I listened to it. This is just a quick Elton John compilation put out by MCA, his record company at the time, and it contains various tracks from his earlier career, this 70, 75 period, Your Song, Country Comfort, Tiny Dancer, Bear Down the Mission Friends, Take Me to the Pilot, Candle in the Wind, Elderberry Wine, Razorface, Harmonies. So big hits, some deep album tracks. Nick Lowe album, I came out about 1984, Cowboy Suit. Haven't listened to it yet, but it has more of a Tex-Mex feel to it. We're almost done here. Okay, we're getting into the classic vocals, some folk, and some Broadway tunes. I just love this cover. Tony Bennett. This came out in 1967, 68. It has the big hits for Stevie Wonder for Once in My Life. Sometimes I'm Happy, Out of This Time. So, you know, it's Tony Bennett. I love the cover. And it's high gloss too. And there's Tony in the studio. So, you know, if you dig that kind of classic vocals sound, the Frank Sinatras, the Tony Bennett's, you'll like this one. Okay, folk. And I'm going to pull up information here. I saw this cover and I said, this is so cornball. But I got to looking at it again and thinking, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Very, very cool. But still cornball. But I just like the artwork, and it's on the RCA Victor Intergroove recording, the master voice. And the liner notes, but the folk women, they were around for like 2 years in the mid-60s, 64 through 67. The folk women were active 63, 66, and were signed to RCA during the folk revival blooms of the 1960s. They released several albums, the most successful of which was their self-titled album, this one, which reached number 118 on Billboard Top 200 album chart. The folk women's version of Little Boxes was their only hit single, peaking at 83 in April 1964. The 1 minute and 3 second long song. It is the shortest record to ever make the Billboard Top 100, and I'll play a little snippet of this as well.
One, two, three, let's all sing. Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky, little boxes on the hillside, little boxes all the same. There's a green one, and a pink one, and a blue one, and a yellow one, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. And the people in the houses all went to the university, where they were put in boxes.
Really a good, folk album, a little bit on the lighthearted side. And they were from Pasadena, California. We're an American folk band from Pasadena, California. Well, this is kind of cool to have in the collection. The last one, Ed. These two artists, when you go to the thrift store and do your vinyl search, you'll find a ton of their records. And I stay away from it like nuclear radiation. But in recent years, the beggars can't be pickers. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try one of their records. But, buy it, pick it up for $1, $40, $50, whatever. Because I knew they were great vocalists and all that. It's just that style of music I'm not into. But I found this one here, and I really dug the cover. The cover is in mint condition. It's high gloss. The cover on really thick stock paper. The vinyl's in great condition, and it's a gatefold. And these two artists were actually married, and they had great voices, and their music was the classic vocal Broadway tunes and all that. And I'm speaking of Steve Lawrence and Eydie Gormé. Flip it over. Sing selections from Two on the Isle, it's called. Sing selections from Camelot, Do Re Mi, Bye Bye Birdie, Music Man, Wonderful Town, Body Beautiful, Bells Are Rising, arranged and conducted by Don Costa, who was a famous arranger and conductor. But I just really like the cover. Especially the background there of the skyline. And what's so cool, it's a gatefold. And it's on United Artists, and at that era, each record company had their own method of excellence for recording and processing a record, and this one is called Ultra Audio Sound, and it's right there if you can see it, and it has a description of the process of the Ultra Audio. Contains the finest quality in recording that can be achieved. Prior to the recording, every recording session, every piece of equipment to be used, from the various microphones to the tape machines, is checked to make certain that it is perfect working condition during the actual recording process. Extra care is